Okay, so today we're gonna do a video on skinning a deer, and there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube that show how to skin a deer. Some of them are okay, but we're gonna kind of look at a couple different things. I tan hides. There's a few other of you out there who tan hides the old way, like brain tanning, and so we want to skin this deer in such a way that there's no knife cuts or knife scores in the hide when we're done. And then the other thing we think about first off really is the carcass of the animal. We want to make sure that we try to keep it as clean as we can. So the less cuts that you make through the hide, the less hair you cut, the less hair you're going to get on the carcass. So we did a few extra cuts on this one. That's okay. My young friend Justin got this nice doe last night, and so we're going to skin it this morning. And we have a few simple tools that we use. And Justin's quite the entrepreneur. He works in his dad's machine shop, and he made this skinning tool for me. It's a very simple tool. It's got some real fine little teeth in it, just kind of a chisel shaped thing. And that really helps eliminate knife work. And I'll show you how that works in a little bit. And this is the old, the Indian tool right here. This is the front leg bone off of an elk. Does the same thing. And then of course you need a knife, and maybe a couple knives. And they need to be good and sharp. Okay, so we'll start working on this thing. What we want to do is take the legs and head off. We already have the back legs removed here, so we're just going to cut through the, kind of ring the front legs here at this joint and give them a little twist. There we go. It's a little bit cold since it's hung all night, so it's okay, and then we're going to take the head off, and you want to do that right behind the ears. There's a joint right there, so the head will come off pretty easy. So we're going to make a cut, a ring cut right around the just cut through all the hide and the tissue here. You can kind of feel when you hit the right spot there. Not quite there yet. Okay. Okay, so we have the head off. All right, so normally after I've done that, took the back legs off, and the back legs, there's kind of a special little joint here where you can pop them off there. We need to save this big tendon in the back because that's how we save them, or hang them, I mean. And so the only other cut that I would usually make here would be on the back side of the back leg. And if we can see the color change in the, can you see that with your video there?
Yeah, pick
with
it
the
up.
brown and white hair.
Yeah.
That's the perfect line to follow. That's the back side of the back leg there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our knife and we're just going to follow that line right down to the rear end back here. Okay. And I'll do this one the same way here. And just follow that where the brown and white hair meet, right down the back side of the back leg. All the way down to the rear end there. Okay. All right, So now we need to hang them back up. Okay, so we've hung the dough back up now, and we've made this cut across the back side of the back legs. And that's really the only, we're gonna need the knife just to cut the tailbone loose right here when we get the hide pulled down to there. But other than that, we're really not gonna use the knife very much at all. So we're gonna start here just pulling the hide away. Whoops, I missed a little spot right there, so there, I'm gonna use the knife just a tiny bit more right there. Okay. So get the hide started, and okay, so we're gonna just start pulling carefully. You can use your hands and your fists and your thumbs and whatever, and we're gonna try to have a real clean hide when we get through here. All the meat stays on the carcass, which is what you want. I get hides sometimes from people that'll have 5 pounds of meat still on the hide, and that's quite a waste. That's a lot of good burger. So anyway, keep pulling here. And the one thing is, you know, some of the videos I've seen, they go for the speed. We're not going for speed here. We're going for a nice clean carcass when we're done, and a good clean hide without any knife scores or knife holes. And most people don't realize that a skinning knife doesn't have to be used for every inch of the skinning process. So, okay, so just keep working down in there. So, and sometimes you'll end up with some fibers like this that kind of want to hang a little bit, and it's okay if you're careful to use your knife a little bit right there, but you want to be very careful that you don't. There we go. Doesn't take very much. Okay. And then when we get down to the tail here, we'll just cut that tailbone off. Too far. There we go. Okay. Okay, so when we get in by the flank area here, this is where there's a pretty good little chunk of meat that's going to try to go with the hide on here. So we're going to try to leave that on the carcass if we can. Some more of that tissue. Right in around the belly area. Where that meat's going to want to. Okay, like I said, we're not going for speed here. We're going for a good clean hide and a clean carcass when we're all done. I've seen some videos where guys skin a deer in 2 minutes, but good shot on that thing, Justin.
Thank you very much.
So we get a little bit of, that's the twitch hide or whatever you want to call it, twitch meat, muscle, and that's not gonna hurt anything, that little bit that's on there. But the main part of the meat, we want to stay on the carcass. There we go. Okay. Okay, Jim, we could go a little higher. Okay. All right, so we just keep working on down here. If the carcass is real warm, you can even leave this little thin. This is only like an 1/8 of an inch thick, this little muscle there. But you can even leave that on the carcass. But once they hang and chill a little bit, that sticks pretty tight. It's kind of hard to keep that on. Start getting into some area that's a little tougher, and when we do that, we'll use Justin's tool for getting that. You can see how thin that piece of muscle is there. It's really nothing, but if I can get that to come loose there, we'll leave it. There we go. If you skin an animal this way, when you get all done, you have very little fleshing to do on the hide. It's pretty clean. This one's coming off pretty easy. So far, I'm going to use Justin's tool though to show you how it works.
Maybe around the neck area.
Yeah, definitely on the neck. That's where that tool really shines, is when you come to the neck. Because most people really hack them up around the neck. There's always a lot of knife scores because most people, especially on a big buck, most people can't pull. That neck height gets just too tough. Okay, so. And when you get old and weak, you can't pull very hard either, so this is how that tool is used. That's what the leather strap is for right there. That takes the pressure off of having to grip that tool so hard. It just kind of sets against your wrist there like so. And then you just take the hide and pull it away a little bit. See how that's just coming right off? I was having a little trouble pulling, and that just makes it so easy. Doesn't hurt the hide at all, and all the meat's staying on the carcass. Grandpa's shop here feels like a meat locker. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. And around these front legs. And we might do another little video segment if one of us gets another deer. If this carcass wasn't opened up quite as far as Justin did here, just stop at the brisket, so this hide would still be intact. This actually comes off quite a bit easier than if you split it all the way down. And you get less hair too, Justin.
Yeah. First time. I don't think I did too bad on
No, you did great. You did great. We'll get the idea here for sure.
Yeah.
Want to go up?
Yeah, let's go up a little bit. A little bit higher. So Grandpa here don't have to bend over. We'll do it for the rest of the crowd here. Okay. So. There's quite a few tissues that hold pretty tight right around this front shoulder area here, but it'll all come loose. And once you can get a hole underneath there and get your fingers in there like so. Oops. Okay, so once you get clear through the tissues like that, then usually you can get in there, do some pulling and a little further down. Here we go. Those tissues for a little while there hang pretty tight, but we'll get that. Try to stay out of the front of your camera if I can. So there we sock that front leg out like so. And then we're going to show you at the end here what I do with those front legs, because they get cut a little bit different than almost anybody does the cut on the front legs. So turn back right side out here. So there's that front leg socked out like so. All right, so go down to the other side here. And am I in the spot where you can see okay there, Kevin?
Oh yeah.
Same deal. I mean, we're going to just do the same thing on this side. We could probably maybe cut part of that out whenever we actually work on this. A little bit more chisel right there. Once you get past a few of those tissues there, then it comes right off. That one. There's the one. There we go. I think. Nope, one more. The tissue right there. That's good. Or I'm getting weak, one or the other. Or both. There we go. There. Okay. Get those front legs both socked out there. Okay, now we're down to the neck. That's where this tool really helps. On a dough like this, you can do quite a bit of pulling, but on a big old buck, I can't pull anymore. And most guys can't. They're just they stick too tight. See how that's just coming right off the neck there? All the meat staying right on the carcass. Did you cut the throat on this?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna retrain you. Did you know that a lot of people don't know this? I get a lot of hides that with the throat cut. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you talk to the processor, 30 seconds after the animal's heart quits, you can cut the throat and you're not going to get more than just a little dab. If the heart's still beating, you can get a little more blood out that way, but most of the time, if you make a good shot, they're bled out inside. You don't even have to, don't do the throat cut thing. So, anyways, I get a lot of hides with the throat still cut. So that's the old way everybody used to do it. And for killing pigs and stuff like that, yeah, that's good. The heart's still beating though. They're right on top of it. Almost. A little better. There we go. Okay, now the last thing I want to show you on this is these front legs. The cut on the front legs. So I'll just lay the hide out like so. There's your front leg there. So the cut we're going to make to open this up, most everybody, when they have them hanging, they'll make the cut on the back side of that front leg. And that's okay, but you get a way better shaped hide if you make the cut on the front side of the front leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right down the front of this front leg, right over to the brisket, just like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Down the front side of that front leg, right over to the brisket, just like so. Okay, so when you work this hide, stretch it out and everything, you get a real rectangular shaped hide. I guess we need to cut just a little bit more neck there. So your hide has a nice shape to it. It'll take about 10 minutes to flesh this hide. Most all the meat stayed on the carcass. And there you have it. There's no knife holes, no knife scores, good clean hide for tanning.